You buy fresh, crunchy celery, toss it in the fridge, and just a few days later it is limp and bendy, completely ruined. That satisfying snack? Gone. In this video, I will show you 5 proven tips that master chefs use to keep celery fresh, crisp, and full of flavor. And finally, for long-term storage, we will blanch and shock celery in ice water before freezing. Perfect for stews and casseroles months later. Stay with me until the end, because these 6 tips will completely change the way you store celery. Tip number 1. Prepare celery in advance for easy use. Start by cutting the bunch in half. Separate the leaves from the stalks. The leaves taste bitter, so I do not use them and throw them away. Now focus on the stalks. Rinse them well under running water because celery often carries a lot of dirt in the grooves. After washing, cut the stalks into even pieces. Keeping them the same length makes them easier to cook evenly and easier to store neatly. Next, place all the cut stalks into a zip bag. Seal the bag tightly to reduce air exposure. Finally, put the bag into the fridge in the optimal fresh zone if your fridge has one. This special compartment keeps temperature and humidity more stable than the regular shelves. With this method, your celery will stay fresh and crisp for several days, and it is always ready to use whenever you need it. But here is the limitation. Tip number 1 only keeps celery fresh for a few days, and it requires you to use a zip bag and a special fridge compartment. Tip number 2. Wrap celery with aluminum foil. Take the whole bunch of celery, wrap it completely with aluminum foil, and place it in the fridge. This method is simple, quick, and can keep celery fresh for 2 to 3 weeks. Tip number 3. Store celery in a glass container with water. You can keep celery crisp for weeks while also making it easier to grab and enjoy anytime. After separating the leaves from the stalks. Save the leaves for soup stock if you want. Rinse the stalks thoroughly under running water to remove sand and dirt trapped in the grooves. Cut the stalks into even pieces so they fit your container and are easy to grab later. Fill the container with cold, clean water until the stalks are fully covered. Because cold water slows down enzymatic activity inside the celery, keeps the stalks firm, and prevents them from wilting. The cold water also helps the stalks rehydrate, which restores their crisp texture. Close the lid to reduce odors and evaporation, but you do not need to make it airtight. Place the container on the middle shelf of the fridge, not in the door, to avoid temperature swings. Change the water every 2 to 3 days, or sooner if it looks cloudy. Each time you change the water, give the stalk ends a quick rinse and retrim a thin slice if they look dried out. Wash the container with hot soapy water before refilling to keep slime from building up. For snacks, you can keep a second shorter container of pre-cut sticks, ready to pair with peanut butter or ranch. With good maintenance, this method keeps celery fresh and crisp for 2 to 3 weeks. Adding crunch to chicken or tuna salad, blending into green smoothies, or tossing quickly into a stir-fry. Now, if changing water feels like extra work, tip number 4 is even more convenient and still very effective. It uses a damp paper towel instead of standing water, so there is no water to spill, less maintenance, and celery stays crisp for 1 to 2 weeks. Tip number 4. Store celery in a glass container with a damp paper towel. Start with a clean glass food storage container. Place a damp paper towel at the bottom. Not soaking wet, just damp enough. This creates a humid environment that keeps celery hydrated, but without the risk of standing water turning slimy. Cut the celery stalks into even pieces and place them on top of the damp towel. Close the lid tightly to keep the moisture inside. With this method, you do not need to change water every few days. It is low maintenance, spill-proof, and still keeps celery crisp for 1 to 2 weeks. This makes it a great choice for lunch boxes, meal prep containers, and healthy snacks. For example, you can pack celery sticks with peanut butter, ranch, or even hummus for school or work. Now, while this method is very practical, it still works best for short-term storage. What if you want to keep celery for months? Tip number 5. blanching, and shocking celery in ice water before freezing. This is the best method if you want to keep celery for months instead of weeks. Bring a pot of water to a boil. Drop the celery pieces into the boiling water and blanch them for about 2 minutes. This short cooking time stops enzymes that cause celery to lose color, texture, and flavor. Immediately transfer the celery into a bowl of ice water to stop the cooking process. Let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes until the pieces are completely chilled. Drain the celery well using a colander, then spread it on a clean towel to remove excess moisture. Once dry, place the pieces into a food storage container and put it in the freezer and place it in your fridge. With this method, celery will keep for 6 to 12 months while still maintaining its flavor and nutrition. It works perfectly for soups, stews, casseroles, or stir-fries. That way, you always have celery ready to use, even out of season. And there you have it. 6 proven tips to keep celery fresh, crisp, and useful for everything from quick snacks to hearty winter meals. Let's do a quick recap. Prepare celery in advance for easy use. Wrap the whole bunch in aluminum foil. Store it in a glass food container with water. Use a damp paper towel for short-term storage. Keep pre-cut pieces in a zip bag in the optimal fresh zone. And for long-term, blanch and freeze after an ice water shock. Did you know that celery is not only great as a crunchy snack, but it is also amazing when blended into smoothies? Celery juice is packed with antioxidants and vitamins like vitamin K, vitamin C, and folate. It helps reduce inflammation in the body, supports digestion, and even promotes healthy blood circulation. Because celery has a high water content, drinking it as juice or blending it into a smoothie is very hydrating. Perfect for hot days or after exercise. Many people also use celery juice in the morning to help cleanse the body and give a refreshing, light start to the day. And that's not all. Celery is naturally low in calories but high in fiber, which means it can keep you feeling full longer, making it a smart choice if you are watching your weight. Plus, it pairs well with apples, cucumbers, ginger, or even a squeeze of lemon in smoothies. I am just a man in the kitchen, sharing tips that make life a little easier and food a lot better. But now I want to hear from you. Do you have a kitchen hack or a storage trick I should try in the next video? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.